guys, so it's finally summer here and it's starting to get more sunny and beautiful. So I thought that I'll be sharing with you guys 5 tips that I have that I do in my life that kind of helps me lead a healthy, balanced lifestyle. And on my channel, I love to radiate goodness and positivity and tell you guys that no matter where we are at or whatever we're doing, we deserve a good life of fulfillment and happiness, and it all starts from within. So I love to practice these really healthy forms of habits and cultivate them into my everyday life to make sure that I'm on track and to make sure that I am just pumped up here and out here so I can have more energy to fulfill my goals in my life and to experience all the miraculous possibilities there is. So the first thing that I love to do is to go into nature. So I think that going into nature is such an underrated thing to do. So many people underestimate the healing powers that nature gives us. Every time when I'm having a bad day, sometimes when I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling frustrated, or I'm just feeling sad out of the blue, I just like to go on a walk in a park, and I want to make sure that I'm not using my phone at all. When you are just very focused in a moment and you're allowing yourself to take time to bond with what there is that is not filling us with dopamine and radiation of our phones and devices, when you actually take the moment to breathe in fresh air from nature, it actually just magically brings you peace. And when you're doing that, you find yourself not so anxious anymore because you're actually allowing yourself to be in a moment, in the present, and feeling the good vibes that nature has. And that has helped me so much in my journey, especially during days when I used to be very depressed and I used to feel like I had no one to confide in or just no one who understood me. When I started to really bond with nature in this sense, I started to take walks myself in the garden, in the park. I started to get to know my thoughts and myself a lot better, and I started to be able to, battle my own emotions instead of feeling the need to rely on people to confide in. You're the best person you can confide in yourself, because you know yourself the best. We tend to think that people know us better. We tend to ask people for opinions, and that is not wrong, and that is sometimes still helpful, but we tend to forget that we are our own healer in our life, and we ultimately have ourselves for the rest of our life, because no one is going to be there for you forever. So that is a very important thing that I've learned throughout my years, and I hope to pass it to you. So number 2 brings me to this interesting tip, and that is to always ask for advice and always be willing to improve. So many of us, we are so afraid of asking people how we can do better. We are so afraid to receive helpful criticism. We're so afraid to hear feedbacks from people because we just don't want to become better. We think that we are already good enough, but to actually improve and to be healthy and more complete, and to actually just keep becoming a better version of yourself, I think that the most important thing I've learned is to always not be afraid to ask for help. I'm someone who's really eager to improve, and I would ask anyone about anything. Like if I know that I have this friend who is really good in this certain aspect, I would definitely ask them for advice, and I ask for their advice, but ultimately I make the choice my own. I kind of hear them all out and I see what works best for me. So this is the one thing that I've learned the most, is to never be afraid to ask. So many people are so afraid to be rejected, but I think that not asking is the biggest form of rejection, because you never allow yourself to have this space to learn more. When you actually ask and engage with people more, you find yourself just learning so much more. And I've learned so many things from the most random people on this earth for the past 22 years of my life. I have had the most solid advice from even strangers. I remember when I was in London, when I went to this school, I actually went to this institution of arts for a few months to study over there, and I actually made a few friends, and they were people that were having complete diverse lifestyles from me. But there, I remember I had this friend, I think she was a lot older than me, she's nearly like twice my age, and I asked her the biggest thing that she has learned in her life, and she actually told me that the biggest thing that she's learned in this life is to never take life seriously, because at the end of the day, we are here to experience. And that quote has actually been stuck in my head for the longest time, even though she's not someone who's like super close to me. But I'm really grateful that strangers have told me things that I've really learned from my very own unique experiences, which is why I have this tip. I promise that this tip is going to get you far in life, keeps you eager to keep learning and keep staying humble. The next tip that I have is to always stay mindful. And I think that mindfulness to a lot of people means you have to be meditating, you have to be doing a certain practice just to practice mindfulness. But no, I think that mindfulness is just when you are being very aware of what you're doing. For example, when you're brushing your teeth, you allow yourself to just brush your teeth and feel how the bristles are going through your teeth, instead of brushing your teeth or calling someone at the same time, or brushing your teeth or doing something at the same time. I feel like practicing mindfulness can be an anytime kind of thing. It just requires you to stay mindful literally. Like for example, when you're eating your food, so many of us, we are so used to watching shows and eating food at the same time, but now I just love to put my phone down and really take every bite and savor the goodness of the food that I'm eating, instead of just distracting myself. And I find that when I do this, when I just deliberately tell myself to really be in a moment, to be mindful enough with everything that I do, I realize that I've been able to stay more grateful and happy, because I'm enjoying myself a lot more out of little things. So many of us, we think that we have to be doing things out of our everyday life, things that are spectacular, or you have to engage in activities that really like trigger your dopamine in order to have your life to be interesting. But I think that having an interesting and a fun life really comes from enjoying the little moments. Next time when you're brushing your teeth or you're having a meal, just take that extra effort to tell yourself to be like, no, we're not watching a show today, because we want to enjoy our food truly, and we want to just appreciate that we have food to eat every day. So the last tip that I have is to exercise. Exercise, because I feel like when I'm doing that, it kind of just makes me more, it kind of reminds me of what I'm capable of doing. Because when you're exercising, when you are lifting a heavier weight than the last time, you kind of know that, oh, see, I can actually push myself to do something more than my mind tells me. I can convince myself that I'm stronger than I think. And that is a really great way to also boost your confidence. And I also feel like when we're exercising, it kind of also gives us this connection with our bodies, and it also just makes you generically more healthy. So I feel like it is a really important and a healthy way of maintaining a balanced lifestyle in my life. And I'm also gonna throw in an extra tip that I have, and it is to delete your Instagram once in a while. I don't know how I'm gonna continue not downloading back my Instagram, but I've actually deleted it for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and it has transformed my inner world so much more inner peace. And I haven't been meditating these 2 weeks, but I already see myself just more peaceful and more happy and more contented with my life without Instagram, because I feel like Instagram is a platform where we're unconsciously just comparing our lives with people, because on Instagram we are watching the lives of others. And I'm not saying that Instagram is entirely like a really bad platform to have, but for me, I feel like, you know, for having my Instagram and updating my life pretty regularly for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, this was my first time just completely just deleting Instagram and not even touching it. for these past few weeks, and I see that it's really worth it. And I feel like connections can be built even stronger in real life, and people who are really important to you, you can text them. You don't have to have Instagram in order to keep track of connections. So that is what I personally feel. So why not you experiment it for yourself and share with me how it goes. Try to not engage your life with social media for a few weeks and see how amazing you feel. I personally feel like it has really just made me see a different perspective in the world, because I feel like I've been living in a world of Instagram and social media for so many years. So finally taking a break, an actual break from it, where I'm not even looking at it at all and not feeling the need to be oversharing all the time, it really it's just a magical experience. And yeah, it has also now shown me that I don't need anything in my life to keep myself in trend or on track. I only need myself, and I only need to stay grounded to my self growth and to my awareness and mindfulness every day, and that is enough. So that's all for my tips, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and we'll see each other very soon. Bye. Good vibes always.